Hi, Nicholas. My name is Ellen, and I will be correcting this set of essays from you. Let's take a look at what you wrote in your first essay about schools and if they should be more entertaining. Let's begin. To catch children's attention is still a challenge. Some people think that schools have to provide more entertainment, while others argue that the main focus is to educate. In my opinion, teachers should be educated in a respectable way, but they need to modify the traditional methods and adapt them into the modern world. Following, I will discuss both sides using examples to demonstrate points and support arguments. All right, so let's talk about this. To catch children's attention is still a challenge. I don't really agree with the use of the word still. I would have changed it a little bit. Maybe you could have made this sentence a little bit more in reference to the modern day and what is happening and what is, becoming more and more a problem. So perhaps you could have changed it around to say, nowadays, it is more and more difficult to catch children's attention in school. Okay? So maybe that would have flowed a little better into what you say then next. Then maybe you could have said, in order to link it better, some people think that the way to engage children is for schools to provide more entertainment. Okay, because then you're linking it better that way, while others argue that the main focus is to educate. Then, in my opinion, teachers should, and here you lost me because it's like you're saying that we need to educate the teachers, but the idea is that teachers should educate children. And then I don't agree with the use of the expression a respectable way because it doesn't, respectable way doesn't paraphrase either entertaining methods or pure academic education. So it's kind of like you're not really telling us anything here. All right. And then, but they need to modify the traditional methods and adapt them into the modern world. So I'm not really clear about what your perspective is. Are you saying that they should provide more entertainment? Are you saying that they should teach in traditional ways? I'm not clear here. And so we begin this essay without a clear sense of your position. All right, and then following, I will discuss both sides using examples to demonstrate points, support arguments. Okay, fine. Let's continue. Firstly, I agree that schools have to be more entertaining. Okay, that's nice and clear. In the modern world, you're missing a word. There are so many things that catch children's attention. I don't really like that because you use the exact same expression here to catch children's attention. So you should have used a different vocabulary. You should have used a different vocabulary. So in the modern world, there are so many things which draw children's focus, okay? And especially new electronic devices, spelling, with a huge offer for distraction. All right, awkward vocabulary here. That's not natural to say with a huge offer for distraction. I'm not really sure what you're saying. For example, comma, a current public survey in primary and secondary schools has shown, has because it's one survey, that adults are more likely to go to school and are focused when teachers implement modern techniques. All right, why are we talking about adults? This essay is about children, so I don't know why this is here. Therefore, it is relevant to shift the traditional learning method into an attractive way to teach. Okay, there's definitely a problem with vocabulary. All right. So you said adults when you clearly should have been talking about children. Here, uh, it is not relevant. Some of the vocabulary is wrong. It is imperative to shift traditional teaching methods so that they use entertaining elements in their class. So, okay, so making it more relevant to the essay. I have to say that I also didn't really feel like you developed this particularly strongly, and I didn't really feel like there was a link between your sentences. So let me show you what I mean. So, okay, so here you say schools need to be more entertaining. And then you say that devices distract children. And then you say that adults are more focused with modern techniques. So none of these sentences have anything to do with the other. Okay. I felt like they were super disjointed and they didn't really connect and create a link of ideas. So you said, all right, why don't you try this? Okay. I agree that schools have to be more entertaining. This is because children are becoming less and less focused thanks to so many devices, so many electronic devices. Uh, so teachers must find ways, innovative ways, to capture children's attention in the classroom. A recent study showed that children were more likely to be focused in school when teachers used movies and games in the classroom. Okay? Therefore, it is clear that teaching methods must provide opportunities for entertainment in order to keep children engaged. Okay, so that's how you could have done this. Let's continue. Secondly, I don't understand this. I think you just mean it is not beneficial for education. Now, here you've got too many commas. Secondly, it is not beneficial for education when to focus from schools turn, no, when the focus of schools turns to entertainment. All right, now what you have to do here is it sounds like you're switching sides. You're going to the opposite side of the argument. So you don't want to use firstly and secondly. Firstly and secondly only work when you're really talking about one side of the argument, and you're not doing that here. So this probably should have been something like on the one hand and on the other hand. Okay? So teachers should still be a respected person that have, yeah, to teach relevant topics that are established in our education system. Otherwise, it leads to a lack of, not punctuality, that doesn't make sense. A recent study in the UK has shown that the amount of absence days are significantly higher. They realize they don't miss relevant topics. All right, again, I don't really feel like this is particularly strong. It's not a piece of support that really focuses on what you're talking about, so that needs some work. And again, grammar here. This shows how important it is, no comma, for schools to still have education as the sole purpose. I changed around the sentence a little bit. All right, again, I'm not really convinced about this essay, about this paragraph. I feel like you're trying to use the template, but it's not really working out 100%. So here you said it's not great when they do this. And then you said, I didn't understand some of the vocabulary. A respected person, relevant topics, lack of punctuality. Like that didn't really make any sense to me. Maybe you could have said something else like, teachers should still be seen as authority figures who must teach academic and soft skills. Okay. Like a punctuality, for example. Even though I don't know why we're talking about punctuality, we're talking about entertainment versus academic, strict educational schools. So I don't really follow this paragraph. Let's continue. To conclude from the examples and arguments given, I firmly believe that schools have to teach in a respectable way. You've said this quite a few times, respectable. I don't understand that. And focus on entertainment, on education rather than entertainment. There is no doubt. Don't start your sentence with but. There is no doubt, no comma. It needs modernism in the traditional. All right, I don't understand that. There is no doubt that Modernism is needed in the traditional education system. That would have worked. So I basically found a handful of things that needed work with this essay. Task achievement, coherence and cohesion, basically all four of the criteria I thought needed a little work. Which is fine. I mean, you're at the beginning of the course. So let's see what you do with the other one. Here we've got the enjoyable activity of the child. Let's see what you wrote. Enjoyable activities rather than reading can help to develop children's skill and creativity skills. There is no doubt, no comma here, there is no doubt that it needs a balanced lifestyle between leisure time and education, but I personally disagree with this statement and believe that reading a book could help to focus and develop own imagination and therefore artistic and general skills too. Following, I would like to explain my argument, them with reasons and examples. All right. So on the whole, I like this, but there were some grammar mistakes throughout. Okay. So there is no doubt that children need a balanced lifestyle, not it. There is no doubt that youngsters, young people need a balanced lifestyle. Okay. And then could help to develop could help to focus and develop one's imagination, one like ONE', and therefore artistic and general skills too. I don't really like this following. You could just say in the essay or in this essay, I would like to explain my argument with reasons and examples. Okay, so get rid of them and then you're fine. People could argue that children develop better skills and more creativity while doing an enjoyable activity. This is largely because they feel more noticed and train all their senses and get inspired by a visual environment. For example, specific skills like sports are not learnable, right, by reading. Dirk Nowitzki has not become a famous basketball. All right, grammar. He spent hours and hours on the sports field instead with a book. Therefore, it needs more enjoyable activity to develop skills, find personal talents, and strengthen them. All right, you're on the right track, but again, there's some issues here. So you're saying that they develop better skills while doing a fun activity. Fine. I didn't understand this. You said they feel more noticed and train all their senses and get inspired by our visual environment. And then you said, for example, specific skills like sports are not learnable by reading. And then you use this. Dirk Nowitzki. Okay, let's do it like this. Would not have become a famous. No. Dirk Nowitzki has become a famous basketball player because he spent hours and hours on the sports field instead of with a book. Okay? Therefore, children, not it's, children need more enjoyable activities, IES, to develop skills, find personal talents, and strengthen them. Okay, I think it's a little better. I still would have liked a little more depth, a little more development, but for your first set, it's fine. So let's keep going. In contrast, I agree. Okay, now I don't understand this. What does that mean in contrast? I disagree with the statement. Which statement? You just said people could argue, and then you're saying, I disagree with the statement. The statement is so long ago that we have no idea what it is. You really have to spell it out for us. It can stimulate the imagination even more to focus on a book and create ones. Again, you need a one here. One like ONE', own pictures from the story. The modern world offers so much visual distraction that there is a risk of overstimulation, which hinders the healthy development of children. For example, another well-known person, Astrid Lindgren, has said about her childhood that she read and built with a T up strong creative skills, get rid of A, which allowed ED to write such great books in her career. Okay, so let's talk about this. I like that you're in support of books. I like that you put it second. That's good. I totally disagree with this. And then I also want to tell you what else I have a problem with. I'll tell you in a minute. Now let's see. You're saying that you should have been clearer. You should have said, in contrast, reading a book allows children to develop a wide range of priceless skills. Okay. Then it can stimulate the imagination even more and create pictures. Fine. Now, I didn't understand this. Like, what are you telling me here? Okay. So I didn't get it. Furthermore, I also think you should have had an additional sentence here. So you said it can stimulate the imagination even more to focus on a book and create one's own pictures from the story. Why don't you give us some sort of a study here? Or why don't you tell us what that means? So you could have said, children who read books were found to perform 40% better on psychometric tests than children who did not read. You could have done something like that there. Okay. And then you've got this idea about the visual distraction, there's overstimulation. I don't understand that. What's your point? What are you trying to tell us? You needed to go a step further and explain to us what this means. Are you trying to tell us that books provide a sort of sanctuary from this over information and over stimulation? Then you should have said it. Okay. So you could have said the modern world offers so much visual distraction that there is a risk of overstimulation, which hinders healthy development of children. This can be counterbalanced by allowing children to sit quietly with a book and read. Okay. But again, what is the skill they're developing? That's what you're supposed to be talking about here. Okay. Um, let's see. So yeah, I mean, you talked a little bit about imagination, but what else? What other skill? Okay. All right. And then you've got this example about the strong creative skills. Fine. Let's keep going. To conclude from the examples, comma, I disagree with the statement. No, don't tell me the statement. Tell me what the statement is. Like, your job is to also show me that you're able to paraphrase and you're able to, use new language here. So to conclude from the examples, comma, I disagree that enjoyable activities are better than reading. And personally, LLY, argue that reading can help develop children's creativity and other skills. It is predicted that our technical media will continue to provide images that influence human imagination in a negative way. All right, I don't get that. I don't understand how this is remotely relevant. Technical media, images, how is this relevant to reading and children and enjoyable activities? So you kind of confused me here. All right, so it's a set that needs some work. I mean, you're on the right track, but there are some things that you need to overcome. And so I'd like you to apply some of the suggestions that I made today. All right, and let's see another set of essays from you. Okay, I'm looking forward to it, so good luck.